Good evening, everyone. So my analytics are absolutely tanking in the new year. They're abysmal, evil, awful. It's like you guys hate me.
He stinks and I don't like him.
I figured I would try something new with my Gen X videos. Why not tell you wonderful people about my experiences as a teen and a young adult in the 90s, right? You know, some genuine Gen X stories. And I didn't want to go crazy at first, you know? And I came up with one. I got an idea. So away we go.
Come on, everybody. Here we go!
So it's the spring of 1989, I believe, during Easter vacation. Wait. Let me go a little back. Yeah, let me back up a little more on this story. Let me go back a little. Oh wait, maybe forward. Let's try this again. Because apparently I'm such an asshole that I don't know how to tell a goddamn story. So, I was dating this really nice young lady in Southern California back in the early 90s. I was getting close to the mid-90s, but still. Around there. Who cares? Well, you gotta know what I'm doing. What are you, a cop? And we've been dating for a while, maybe almost a full year, which in your late teens is like being married for 20 years to an adult. I mean, come on, think about it. 1 year, when you're like 18 or 19, is like doing a 30-year stint with your wife. Anyways, it's a Saturday night, and we're enjoying a couple beverages, trading stories from our youth. That's what we did back in the 90s when we were sick of the VHS tapes and all our obscure, cool import vinyls. We shared stories.
What the fuck you want, man? Why don't you tell me a story?
As the usual ham and egger I was at that age, I started telling stories about what I knew. Of course, what I knew was being a little skate punk, a little skater punk. Got your skateboard, you got your punk rock music, you're cool, right? So I'm saying that none of what I'm telling stories about dropping in on half pipes for the first time hitting a vert ramp, bombing down a hill, or skating a pool in some stranger's backyard. Those stories aren't quite hitting right. She's not impressed. She's bored. I can tell that. I can see the boredom setting in. And you gotta remember that I have an ego back then bigger than my 19-year-old little nuts.
Boring.
So, I launch into the craziest skating story I can think of that won't incriminate me, because I'm still a paranoid youngster at the time. You know, statute of limitations, you know, stuff like that.
Let's go while we're young.
And I launch right into that story. So here we go. So it's Easter break 1989. I'm staying with my cousins, Tommy and Jeffy. Coolest cousins ever. I love them to death. They live in this weird new utopia. Or at least back then, Rancho Santa Margarita. It's goddamn paradise. I mean, look at this place. It's heaven on earth. Or is it that any warm place looks like the Garden of Eden after living in New York City or right outside of there for about 20, almost 30 years now? Anything warm looks like the Garden of Eden. Anyways, it's 89, and like so many delinquent youth of Southern California, me and my cousin are little skater punks. So the two things that dominate our lives are skateboarding and punk rock. We have the Vision Streetwear shoes, the peg bleach jeans, flannels tied at our waists, and our beat up old Walkmans. Posing out pretty hard, like looking, if hindsight is 2020. A little later on, I kind of got more like looking like a vato with my Dickies and my wino shoes, but yeah, we were posers. Just keep pushing our boards down the sidewalk, looking for spots to skate all over this Easter break. I don't know the area too well yet, because I've only been there once or twice since they moved out there, you know, since they moved out to that paradise. And Tommy says to me, he says, hey, I thought of a spot that would be perfect. There's planters, there's benches, there's curbs, there's gaps, bunch of other skatable stuff. So what do I say? I say, lead the way. That's what I tell him.
Skate or die, dude!
So we hit up the spot, some sort of school it looks like. We come in through some side parking lot. We see a couple cars, but not many. Perhaps we're thinking some teachers catching up on their workload, you know what I mean? I give my cousin his deserved props for finding this spot. It's pretty damn nice. Has all the things you need for what we called street skating back in the day. But now it's just skating. What the kids skate this stuff all the time now. Naturally, we just start doing our thing. Skating. We don't even, we think we're ripping it up, but definitely not the way like kids rip it up at schools now. Just watch a few videos. These kids rip it up at the schools. They're amazing. Either way, it's a good spot, and we're having a grand old time.
You guys suck.
We suck. Did you hear that, Luke?
So, my Walkman is dying, but sometimes you could get a couple more minutes. You pop out the batteries, put them back in, or at least that's what we believed. Trust me, people, we weren't very bright. I'm kind of walking towards my cousin Tommy to see if he's an extra AA battery, because he had one of them cool little Vision Streetwear pouches. And I think I can hear voices off in the distance. Not sure what they are, but I hear voices. He has his earphones on and they're blasting. I can hear it blasting, but I hear those voices getting closer that were off in the distance. But they're still at a distance. I tap Tommy's shoulder, and it looks like he's gonna ignore me, as he's like setting up for a trick or something, like some lame trick we used to do back then. And I'm tapping on his shoulder. I look off to the source of those voices I was hearing, and I see what looks like 15 to 20 grown-ass looking guys wearing like football jerseys in gym shorts. Now I'm pretty much slapping Tommy's shoulder pretty hard to try to get his attention. He annoyedly, he's so annoyed, he swings around and says, "What?" And I hear, at the same time he's saying, "What?" I hear these big boys scream, "Get him!"
You can get me out of this mess, but he's pretty sure you're fucked.
We both look at each other like we're in like some episode of The Little Rascals. Big wide eyes, mouths agape. Run! The team of guys is about 800 yards away, and they start running head on towards us. These guys are big. They look like goddamn men. These guys are the size of men. We hop on our skateboards and haul ass as fast as we possibly can. We are hauling ass. I'm looking over my shoulder. I'm looking over my shoulder. I'm pretty sure they're gaining on us. I'm like, "Move, Tommy, move!" We are moving through there. But as we do, I start noticing flashes of plaid and like white shirts. I guess uniformed girls and guys about our age. They're peeking out of classroom doors, peeking through windows. Oh shit. A school is active here. Shit, it was a Catholic school. They have their break on the other end of Easter than public school kids do. And I feel so stupid because I got a bunch of Catholic friends who go to, like, whatever. I'm a dummy. I should have known.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
We see our escape. All we have to do is get across a parkway. A parkway is different in California than on the East Coast. We just gotta get across that parkway over to the other side to the condos. I mean, I doubt they can go off campus. That's what we're kind of banking on. So we're booking ass, getting the fuck out of there. We can maneuver through, get through some of those condo buildings, hide in some laundry room. That's another thing about out there, is there's all these laundry rooms you can hide in. So, we're pretty much across the parkway and near the condo buildings. Home free, right? They stop for a second. These guys, they look at each other, they shrug, but they start jogging across the street. So we book it around in through the condo buildings. And I hear a whistle in the distance. You know, we're around the corner. We peek around. They seem to be walking our direction instead of running, but the whistle shrieks again, and they stop and look back. The whistle blows again, like a third time, or maybe even a fourth and fifth time. And we hear, obviously, what's one of the coaches screeching at them. Like that blown out gruff coach voice. We know it's a coach. These beasts look over one more time in our direction, but start jogging back to the school.
That was a close one.
So I'm closing out my little skateboard chase story, and the girl I'm dating at the time interrupts me, slapping her knee. Just, "That was you? What do you mean?" I respond. And she looks at me. "Shit, John, you don't listen to anything I tell you, do you?" Of course, I'm a man. We don't listen to anything the women say. Apparently, she had told me multiple times that she went to that exact high school. And I'm just such a self-obsessed asshole that it never registered. Turns out, not only was she that, she was in a classroom and they heard the commotion. She was in one of those classrooms. They could look out the window and see the whole chase go down, and they heard it and saw it. I guess Tommy and I were the talk of that school for a while. For weeks, those football players swore they were gonna find us and beat us down for disrespecting their campus. By the way, sorry fellas. I mean, they never got us, but somehow now, some group of dudes, big beard, gutted belly guys, they're gonna track me down looking at my YouTube account and jump me. They'll fly all the way out here to New York and just put a beating on me. They're like, "No, I'm sorry, I didn't mean any harm." So, my closing thoughts are a couple here. It's a very small world we live in. I mean, can you believe a chick I was dating heard about us running around like maniacs and actually witnessed it, and that I date her years later? Or maybe try to be a better listener with your friends and loved ones. Wait, but more importantly, if you're gonna go skate at school, know the goddamn schedule, for fuck's sake. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, ring that bell. I don't know what that bell does, but just help me out, because my numbers are in the garbage right now, and I appreciate you all. And good night.